Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information.
Tell the truth.
Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Information Man. Thank you for being here. I'm about to give a analysis and a breakdown of the Jussie. I would call him Messy Jussie. A lot of people have given their thoughts and opinions about Jussie. They've given some baseline to what's going on. They've shown videos or they've shown the courtroom. I do have some video clips to show you today. But what I want to do that's different from what I've seen other people do is I want to give you a complete analysis like you've never heard so far, because I'm going to add other things into this that needs to be spoken about. He is in a Cook County prison or jail, and I'm going to talk about Cook County and the dangers of that particular jail that he is in. And I have some reports about Jussie that come straight from his brother, who was very adamant, his younger brother, who was very adamant about Messy Jussie's innocence and what's going on. Now, another component that I'm going to bring to this today that I don't think anyone else has brought to it, and I'm expertise to bring to it, is the mental health aspect. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, I work in my profession with men in the prison system who are dealing with not only the stress of their sentence, but the stress of their mental health problems. And so we're going to get into this about Messy Jussie. As that clock winds down, give me the biggest favor. I think everybody in the chat room, we're talking about Messy Jussie. Share the video in all your social media. If you are a content creator, share the media, because YouTube has a way of blocking content like this because of the way I'm going to give the analysis. I'm not saying that Messy Jussie is innocent in this situation, but I am saying that there are some issues in the system because, see, ladies and gentlemen, he got a low level 4 class felony, which you normally don't. There's not a lot of cases where people go to jail for what he did, believe it or not. I think Martha Stewart actually went to jail for lying to the police for some lies. People thought it was just a fraud, but it was her lies as well. So Jussie, I think, is being made. He is to be made an example of. Most black men are being made examples of in this society, but Jussie is messy. And I do believe the evidence does show that this man orchestrated. We're going to go over it. We're going to get into it. I appreciate everybody that's here today. And like I said, the clock is winding down. And what that said, welcome to the Information Man experience.
I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's robbing. Tasting with the fade, not the air, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame.
Tell the truth.
Stuck up in my ways, singing Gucci gang.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Information man.
Information is power.
I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's right, man. Tyson with the fade, not the air, my hands.
Tell the truth.
When I link with ballpoint, you know it's not. Get out my way. I'm so unashamed.
Tell the truth.
Information is power.
Tell the truth.
All right, everybody, peace. What's up, everybody? Peace. Welcome to the program. I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate everybody being here today. Thank you, everybody. This is going to be an interesting show today. I want to say shout out to everybody in the chat room and a clap to you, everybody in that chat room. Okay, we're talking about Messy Jussie.
Then that's it, because it's the truth.
So Jussie is saying if it's the truth, then it's got to be the truth. So I want to get into this right now because I put a vote in the chat room, excuse me, and I want to see what people's opinions are. Did Messy Jussie, did Jussie Smollett, did he get a raw deal? Let's look over here. Boom, like that, like so. Remember, Jussie had all the love and accolades coming from all the celebrities. Everybody saying, oh, this is terrible. We got Vonda Davis was talking about him. Everybody, you see all those on there. People were giving him a lot of heavy support. People were saying, you know, Jussie is innocent. The LGBTQ, they jumped out the window and supported him. All the celebrities jumped out the window and supported this man wholeheartedly. Yes, they did, ladies and gentlemen. So Messy Jussie, he stuck his foot in it big time. And I want to know for everybody in the chat room, do you think, I know you voted in my poll that I set up, but I need to know, do you think by a show of putting a 1 in the chat room, do you believe that Messy Jussie got more time than he should have gotten? He got 150 days in the Cook County jail. And I'm telling you right now, Cook County is not a pretty place. It is not a safe place. But however, because of his celebrity status, they are going to give him some special treatment. I'm sure of it. This is what it looks like inside of the jail. This is a typical cell. I know this very well. I have been in these type of environments. I've see guys going in and out of these kind of environments. This is a typical cell that you would see in a prison or even in a jail. Now, although this is, as you see right here, Cook County Department of Corrections, Division 10 maximum security, he's not going to be in a maximum security, but he's going to be in that facility. And I think people need to understand that the way black men are treated in the way justice is divvied out in Chicago in Cook County, it disproportionately is divvied out against black people, black men, black women. This does not negate the fact that Messy Jussie played a lot of messy games. And I have to agree that he went overboard. I want to see what are the votes in the chat room right now. Right now, we've got about, let me see. We've got Natural saying 1. We got Decline Management saying 1. Yvette saying W is saying 1. Oh, Reliable is in the house. Thank you for being here. Blackest Magic is in the house. The Honorable is in the house. Sister Honorable, thank you for coming over. Bonnie Rose, thank you because you supported yesterday's program with the House of X Entertainment. I really appreciate that. And we got Black Voltron in the house reloaded. Good to see you. We got the House of Entertainment. Let me give them a clap. Great interview. Great interview that they gave towards me yesterday. Make sure y'all check out the House of Entertainment's channel, subscribe, and check out the video. They invited me for an interview, and I got into a lot of different issues. They asked very great questions, and so I really appreciate them inviting me on their show. And I say, once again, thank you. We got BS3 Network is in the house saying, what's up, information, man? And yes, BS3, I am live right now on BS3 Network. My man Ben has a network, and he has sports, and he has gospel. He has religious content on there. He has social, cultural content on the BS3 Network, which is on Roku TV. Definitely check it out. Let me put this logo up here just real quick. And so if you're at home and you've got the Roku TV package, you can watch the Information Man. I'm part of one of many other people on the platform as part of the lineup on Sundays. So I thank Brother Ben and the whole family over there at BS3 Network. Clap to you right now. We got Back to the Bases. We got Maurice Miller in the house here. This is Joe, who's in the house. Thank you for being here. This is Joe. We've got Just Ask Cha. What's going on, sister? And you got there. I've got questions. Just ask. I've got questions, sister. Thank you for coming over. Let me give you a clap too for coming over to the program today. And anybody that I missed in the chat room, I apologize. We've got Sir Obey is in the house. Give him a clap. Bonnie Rose, just everybody that's in the house. I really appreciate you coming over today. So this is not about me giving any apology for Messy Jussie. Okay. This is about.
That's it, because it's the truth.
No, this is not about me making any apology for his behavior. There have certainly been other cases in Chicago that should have gotten the attention, of the media. I want to know, why is it that this case with Messy Jussie got so much attention when you've had other cases like Laquan McDonald, who was massacred out there in the streets of Chicago by Chicago police. And y'all remember this. I want to bring this up too. And the reason why is because I didn't see the same intensity as it related to this young man right here. Laquan McDonald, 17 years old, shot in the streets like he was an animal by Chicago PD. killed by police on October 20th, 2014. There was not much outrage about this in the beginning because you had Rahm Emanuel, who then was the mayor of Chicago, horrible mayor. And guess what? Because it was an election year, he sat on this case for about 16 months where the public didn't know anything about Laquan McDonald. And he was, and people said, well, why did you do this? What was the bottom line of this? The bottom line is that Rahm Emanuel was trying to collectively save his political ass. And people in Chicago are very pissed at Rahm Emanuel. They're very pissed at the Biden administration who have put him in an ambassadorship over Japan. They asked for them not to do that because he closed down many schools in Chicago. He was a horrible mayor, and he purposely set on the Laquan McDonald case and allowed this individual right here, Van Dyke, to sliver through the system. Now, of course, they did give him a 6-year sentence. He should have gotten more than that. But the case, we put a lot of thought about Messy Jussie. That's his mugshot. There's a lot of emphasis on Messy Jussie.
Tell the truth.
When there should have been more of an emphasis on Laquan McDonald. Because Messy Jussie, he created this situation for himself. He went out there and decided, you know what, how this all got started, folks. This is going to be crazy. This all got started over a damn Subway sandwich. According to Jussie, he claimed that one late night, a cold ass night in Chicago, who walks around in the darkness, in the cold in Chicago at that time of the year at 2 a.m. for a damn $5 footlong. First of all, this man is a celebrity. You would have think Messy? Oh, Messy Jussie. You would have thought that old Messy Jussie would have had enough sense to know that this wasn't going to work in his favor. Why would you, as a celebrity with all your resources, why would he have to go outside in the middle of the dark at that time of the year to get a damn foot-long sandwich? Why? $5 foot-long.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, even the young kids in Chicago and everybody in Chicago and around the world knows there's something. Let me come closer to the speakers. Let me let y'all know a secret that Jussie should have known. There's this thing called Uber Eats. Uber Eats. He could have called Uber Eats. He could have called DoorDash and had the food delivered. This man is making $2 million a year, and he doesn't have his residency stacked with food. He doesn't have a system in place to have somebody. This is the crazy thing. The two African gentlemen, the two Nigerian gentlemen that he put up to this whole situation, because the evidence was clear. They have video evidence of the two Nigerian brothers here who he gave money to go buy the materials that they needed to stage this whole scam. Not to mention Jussie making $2 million a year. He's cheap, and they cheap too, because he gave them only $3,500 for this scam.
Tell the truth.
And shame the devil. And then come out in the wash that we know that Jussie is a member of the LGBTQ. Who you want to lay up in a bed with and be with, that's your business, none of my business. But the thing that made this even crazier, and thank you for the super chat, Glorion Murray.
You are listening to Information. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody coming in the chat room. We got Lolo Queen B. Thank you for being here. And Black Voltron doing a great job as a mod in there. All the mods are doing a great job. So what made this whole thing weird is that according to the news, according to what came out in the wash, Messy Jussie was messing around with one of these strong Nigerian brothers here. Messy Jussie was getting it on with the African experience. And that's what makes it crazy, because he's messing around with one of these guys. Now, the whole goal was that they were trying to break into Hollywood, that he was assisting them in becoming actors, and that they had played, they were in the Empire television program as extras and all this kind of bullshit like that. And he conjured up this plan. All of this made up by the $5 footlong. And of course, we know that Jussie was getting all the footlong that he could handle from one of the Nigerian brothers. If you have not had a chance to vote, go ahead and vote and let us know whether you think that Jussie should have never got 150 days in prison. Now, the family was very upset because they said that, the NAACP and the Irvin lead and Jesse Jackson, messy Jesse Jackson, because he's had his little indiscretions too, that they all said that he should not have gotten 150 days. They were looking at him getting just probation. And I got to be honest with everybody. Usually when you get a low, you can look it up for yourself. When you get what they call a level 4 class type felony, that's a very low felony, you don't normally get time in jail. And I'm not trying to make excuses for messy Jussie. I'm not saying the man is innocent. I'm just saying that he got put in jail for a particular type of crime that when you look at it on its face, people don't normally get jail time for that. Matter of fact, if you go out and do the research, I was listening to Tim Black earlier today, and he said he did some research on this, and that you don't normally get jail time for what this man engaged in. Okay. Messy Jussie. Let's look at it right here. What he got. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Jussie Smollett convicted on 5 of 6 counts. Disorderly conduct charges, telling police officers he was a hate crime victim. He was found guilty on that. Then messy Jussie tells officers he was battered. He was a battered victim. Then messy Jussie tells detectives he was a battered victim. Then messy Jussie tells the detectives again he was a battered victim again. According to the AP here, messy Jussie tells the second detective he was he was an aggravated battery victim, that he was a victim, and he was not found guilty on that. So what messy Jussie was found guilty of is the fact that he was wasting the resources in Chicago with his buffoonery. Yes, that is the buffoonery of messy Jussie. All right. He wasted a lot of time. He wasted the resources of a community that never asked for their resources to be wasted like this, ladies and gentlemen. This should have never happened, never happened, never happened. And as you can see right there, again, many celebrities jumped out the damn window and they rode with messy Jussie, ladies and gentlemen. And they rode with him when they should have not rode with this man. And then his defense team, if you didn't know this, ladies and gentlemen, they had the audacity. This is about telling the damn truth and shaming the devil.
Tell the truth.
They had the audacity to say that messy Jussie should not be put in prison or go to jail because of this. The defense team for messy Jussie claims that sentencing Jussie Smollett to jail would be almost like a death sentence due to the risk of the virus that's been going on around this country for the last 3 years. So they were trying to use this compassionate defense as well, that you can't put him in jail because he will be at high risk, like everybody else in jail who done crime. He would be at high risk of contracting this monster we call the virus. And Messy Jussie thought that he could get out of it based on those manipulation from his lawyers. And you could tell in the court when Jussie got up there and said, "I am not suicidal," that his lawyers were sitting there looking at him like, look at this guy, this damn fool. We're sitting up here trying to do the best we can to give this man the best deal that he can get. And he's sitting up here going off. But I'm going to tell you why Messy Jussie did what he did and why in some ways he should have did what he did. I know people are saying, well, he was off his rockers when he got up there saying that he was not suicidal. As you can see on this picture right here. And people were saying, you know, he was off his rocker getting up there saying, I am not suicidal. I'm going to tell you why he should have said that. And I'm going to tell you this is why any of us should say this in a court of law when we're about to go into a jail or a prison. The Cook County prison that he's going into, or jail, has a bad reputation. A bad reputation. Messy Jussie was wrong for getting us all in this BS, making up stories, saying he's going out for a foot-long sandwich at Subways, had the Nigerians buying material. And then this is another thing, too. There's no mega hats in Chicago. There's no mega hats in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. That's not Trump country. The last time Trump tried to have a protest, he tried to have not a protest. The last time Trump tried to have a rally, the people in Chicago ran the mega hats out of there, and they ran Trump and his people the hell out of Chicago. They weren't feeling it in Chicago. So this story about some mega hats, and see, this went into the psychosis of what he was doing here. He wanted to play both sides of the argument by saying they attacked me because I'm a gay man and they attacked me because I was a black man. So he was trying to get the favor and the love and the respect and all that comes with the trimmings on Thanksgiving. He wanted black folks to give him Jubilee. He wanted gay people to give him Jubilee. But you guess what? Now you don't see the LGBTQ rocking with him. See, a lot of this is, I'm sorry if I'm going to ruffle some feathers right here. You have black people that are gay, and sometimes they lead with their homosexuality. They'll say, I'm a gay black man. I'm a gay black woman. First of all, you're black before you're any damn thing else. You were born into this world as a black person. That is your biology. And a lot of times, too often, black folks within that community will lead with their sexual preference. They will identify themselves by their sexual preference. When this world doesn't give a damn about your sexual preference, they'll see you as black before they see you as any goddamn thing else. They're not going to see your sexuality. They're not going to recognize whether you are a black person from another country. All they see is a black person. This is why black folks in the LGBTQ, you need to recognize, you need to lead with your blackness first. Because where are the white LGBTQ folks to support Jussie now in his situation? Where are they? Where are they? Where is most of the gay community? They're not rocking with him. He burned both bridges. He burned the bridges with black folks who, by the way, we weren't that excited about Messy Jussie anyway. We weren't crazy over Messy Jussie. Did you see how many groupies that you see outside of his court case? Huh? There weren't that many even black folks in Chicago knew that what he did was some BS because they're from Chicago. They know how it gets down. Remember when he was giving the interview on ABC by Robin, he said this again?
The truth. Then that's it, because it's the truth.
That's it, because it's the truth. So what's happening now is that where all that time he was leaning on his LGBTQ membership, playing both sides, lying on both sides, because he was not a victim of a hate crime, whether it be because of his sexuality or because he was black. But then you notice when he walked out of that court, now he wants to put up the Black Power sign. Where was all that Black Power before Jussie? Now, Jussie made up a story, whether you believe it or not. You see right here, January 29th, Smollett alleged attack near his Chicago apartment, claimed it was a hate crime. Now, he had to have done this to himself, ladies and gentlemen. The evidence shows that he was guilty as all get out. His family is saying that, no, he's not guilty. He didn't do this. Jussie is innocent. Then the question is, ladies and gentlemen, is his family in denial? Or is it that they just know that they know already that he's wrong, but they got to keep a public appearance? Everybody in the chat room, if you think that his family is in heavy, heavy denial of the circumstance that he is in, that he has put himself in, put a 1 in the chat room. Let's see what all of you are saying. Again, this whole situation comes down to a $5 footlong. Because he lied and said he was going out to get something to eat. Good. Let me put the sandwich right next to me. Good. And everybody in the chat room that's rocking with me today, thank you for coming over. We got Yalpo, we got Brother Rob, he's from Chicago, putting a 1. So everybody in the chat room feels that the family is in heavy, heavy denial. Matter of fact, that foot-long sandwich on my screen sure looks good. I like to have it. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, if it's 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm not going outside into the damn cold and ice of Chicago for a damn foot-long sandwich. I'm going to simply call some service that delivers. Or if I'm making $2 million a year, I'm going to make sure that my ice box is fully loaded with all snacks. Okay? And we've got Earl Owens is in the house, and Yalfo is in the house. And I got your email. I'll be checking that email out. And we got Erica in the house. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to come down on LGBTQ community. I'm simply saying, where are they? And this is why a lot of times we tell black folks that are gay, keep in mind when some shit happens to you that's black, some of your LGBTQ brethren and sisterin of the more wider persuasion and other groups, they're going to leave you out in the cold. And guess who you're going to end up having to run back to? Black folks.
Tell the truth.
Let me do this, ladies and gentlemen. I have to bring up this woman right here, Kim Foxx. And she really screwed up. Because Kim Foxx, as I put this, I'm going to put this back on here. She really screwed up. She really screwed up because she took a lot of heavy criticism because she did not put him in jail when this whole thing broke out that he was lying. Now, let me just say this to you, everybody. While we may make a big deal over Jussie lying to the police, because that's exactly what he did. He lied to them on the police report. It was put out there that he lied. They had video evidence. They had the physical evidence that the Nigerian brothers had given to the police, that they were out buying tools they put the noose around his neck. Then there was video that I could clearly tell that Jussie was playing games because he had the noose around his neck and he asked the cop, should I take the noose around my neck? Ladies and gentlemen, if you got a noose around your neck, what are you going to do with that noose? Put a 1 in the chat room. Are you going to take the noose immediately off your neck? Or are you just going to walk around with the noose on your neck and then ask people, should you take the damn noose off your neck? What is that about? Put a 1 in the chat room. Do you think if you had a noose around your neck, if you was really in this situation like Messy Jussie claimed he was, would you keep that noose around your neck or would you immediately take that noose off? Put a 1 in the chat room if you would take it off immediately. Put a 2 if you don't know. Kim Foxx is the district attorney in Chicago. She's come under a lot of scrutiny because she didn't heavily prosecute him, gave him some special privilege according to some. I heard her on a radio station in Chicago. I think it's WVON. I think Brother Rob is familiar with that station. He lives in Chicago. He's an educator. He's in the chat room. Marcella Muhammad, what's going on, says, I have to say no only because remember the lady in the park in New York that was saying that black man was attacking her. That was a false report. All she did was got fired from her job. Yes, that's the point that's really where I'm going with this. Other people such as the Karens in the world, and I think Black Anonymous left a message in my chat room about this. You've got these Karens in the world who get away with accusing black men and women of audacity type deeds, and they're not going to jail. They're simply getting fined and they're getting shamed on social media and by society, but they're not going to jail. So you can make an argument that Messy Jussie, potentially or did get overcharged in this case but the reason why he got overcharged is for the reason that I'm going to let you know, that Cook County is a dangerous place. Let me tell you right here. This is where I'm going with this. As I put this back up here. Bear with me. Fewer people in Cook County are being charged with crimes. Why are black people making up a large share of the defendants? The number of people charged in crime, this is in Cook County Correctional Department in Chicago area. The number of people charged in crime cases have declined steadily in Cook County over the last 2 decades, but a closer look at the trends reveal a stark racial disparity that have only worsened over time. More than 3 million criminals cases were filed in Cook County between 2000 and 2018. Over 60% of those were filed against black people, according to an analysis of Cook County court data by the circuit. Even though black people only make up about a quarter of the county population, people, I don't like that word people of color, but for the purpose of this is what it says, have always been disproportionately represented in the criminal justice system. But our analysis shows that black people make up the largest share of defendants charged in criminal court in recent years compared to 20 years ago. In 2000, 57% of defendants in Cook County Circuit Court were black. In 2018, and you can imagine what it is now in 2022. In 2018, 65% were black. Because of the change in the way the circuit court clerk recorded race and ethnicity over time, it is difficult to make similar comparisons for the rate of charges against Latino defendants. Okay, the rising racial disparity in court systems have also led to a widely disparity in incarceration rates. Black people are now incarcerated in the Cook County Jail at more than 17 times the rate of white people, according to an analysis of jail population and census data by the circuit. That's the largest gap between the two groups since at least 1990. The circuit analysis data on specific charges that better understood trends. We also interviewed experts on policing, criminal justice, and race who offered possible explanation for the shrinking caseload and growing racial disparities in Cook County right now.
Thank you for
So I just wanted to read that to you because they have serious problems. And this is the system that Kim Foxx, as the top AG in that city, she's dealing with. And so I believe that Jussie got the 150 days because not only because the judge had a hard on for him, against him, but I think he got it because he got prosecuted in a particular state, in a particular city, with a particular county where they often will send black men to prison or jail for the biggest thing or even the littlest thing. In the case of Jussie Smollett, they gave him 150 days, which isn't really a lot. He's not getting 3 and 2 and 4 and 5 years. But I remember this man right here, he lied on his police report. He lied to the police and falsified a police report. We're talking about Jason Van Dyke when he took the life of Laquan McDonald. Let me show you the autopsy, a copy of the autopsy report. Here we go. The Office of the Medical Examiners of Cook County, the Cook County, or County of Cook, or it should have been written Cook County. Okay. Laquan McDonald, 17 years old, sex male, race black. Look at your screen closely. These are all the bullet holes that went into Laquan McDonald. They massacred this young man. He took about 16 bullets. Look at that right there. And this man right here only got a 6-year sentence. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He's out of prison right now, living his best life. Can you all hear me? Let me know if you can all hear me. Were you able to hear me the whole time? Because I was thinking that my mic or something was shut off. Let me know if you was hearing me the whole time that I was speaking a few minutes ago. Just want to make sure that, okay, good. Because something was turned off on my mix board and I got a little frightened that, man, they probably didn't hear anything I said in that dialogue. Okay, thank you. And I'm clear. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everybody in the chat room. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best chat room in the world. You're the best. Intelligent people, loving people in that chat room. Support each other. I know people have channels in there, so make sure you write people's names down so that you can go back and subscribe to their channels and give them support. This man right here shot Laquan McDonald. You're asking yourself, why am I making the comparison? What I'm trying to say to you is this man actually killed somebody. Jussie didn't kill anybody. This man has actually killed someone, shot them up 16 times like Swiss cheese, killed this young man, Laquan McDonald. He's only did probably 5 of the 6 years. He's already out walking around, ladies and gentlemen, as if he never did anything. This is in Chicago. Let me show you the still pictures of what happened to Laquan McDonald right out. I'm basically showing you this to show you this is the type of policing and criminal justice system you have in Chicago, this is why Jussie Smollett got the 150 days, where you have Karens and other people in this society who harass black people. When we're walking while black, we're walking our dog while black, while we're barbecuing while black, while we're in our house while black, while we're doing whatever we're doing while we're black, while driving while black, jogging while black, being with our family while black. We have criminal justice systems in these cities that treat us like we're animals. That's Laquan McDonald being shot by this man. And then here's another footage, 4 breakdown footage right there. Take a look at that. I'm basically bringing this up because this is the reason why he got tried for this. Not only because, yes, he was guilty, but what I'm saying to you, he got 150 days in jail for a hoax crime that many people don't go to jail for. You don't go to jail for that. You get a fine. You do community service. you're on probation, and so on and so forth. But you don't go to jail and do 30 days in jail, 60 days in jail, 70 days, and 150 days in jail. Did any of those Karens, everybody, let me know in the chat room, did any of the Karens get 150 days in jail for harassing black people? Can somebody in the chat room tell me that? What's going on? Patora Afro is in the house. Thank you. We got Golden Melanin is in the house. Thank you for being here. Black Votron's here too. A lot of great people. We got Variance Perspective is in the house. Thank you for being here, brother. Just Ask Chai is in the house. I got a question. She's in the house. Thank you for coming over, sister. And thank you for letting me know that my mic is working. Lolo, Queen B. I really appreciate everybody in the chat room. Can anybody in the chat room put a one? How can I do this? If none of the Karens got 150 days in prison or jail, a heavy crime against them, put a one in the chat room if no Karen has ever gotten any time, heavy time. Have we seen any of these Karens who have harassed black people on the streets? Have we seen their court cases where they're in court and they're being given a sermon or they're being verbally tongue lashed by a judge the way Jussie was verbally tongue lashed? Has any of these Karens been tongue lashed? And I'm not saying that Messy Jussie is innocent. No, he is guilty as sin.
Tell the truth.
Have you? No. Everybody's putting a one because none of these Karens who have actually harassed black people in this society have been held accountable for their behavior. None of them. And so I'm not saying that Jussie is innocent. I'm simply saying that he was in the wrong county, the wrong town and place to get this sentence, because if he had been anywhere else that didn't have a reputation like Cook County, he may have not gotten this time. But then again, he's black. And that's why I said sexuality ain't got a damn thing to do half the time with what happens to us. What happened to Jussie in the way they treated him in this court situation is that they didn't do this to Jussie because his sexuality, because like I read it to you, Cook County has a bad way, in a disproportionate way, that they levy out poor justice to black men. So it wasn't about his sexuality that they targeted. It would be in their county. It would be his race. But it still does not forgive the fact that he led us in a wild goose chase. He lied. And I still have a problem with him walking out of court with his hands up, with a black fist up, like he's some type of revolutionary, or like he is some type of, what would we call it, a political prisoner.
Tell the truth.
Where did we get there? As I said, we got here from this damn Subway sandwich, which was the main focus of his lie, that the reason why he went outside. Let me go with a video for you. Some short videos just to kind of summarize how we got here, where it all started. And let's go with the first one. This was the police chief of Chicago. This man is no longer the police chief, because come to find out, see, it shows you the corruption within the police force in Chicago, because this man who's speaking, he's black. He ended up losing his job as Chicago police because chief of police, because it come to find out he had some corrupt things going on in his background too. So let's listen here though to how we got here from the police level. Then I'm going to take you into the courtroom and bring you right on up to speed here with the presentation that I'm providing you. And peace to everybody in there. Peggy Ross is in the house. Patora Afro, Earl Owens. Lots of great people. We got Sir A. Jones is in the house. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. And with that said, let's go for the breaking news.
The truth, then That's it, because it's the truth.
Recognizes that Empire actor Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career. I'm left hanging my head and asking why. Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations? How could someone look at the hatred and suffering associated with that symbol and see an opportunity to manipulate that symbol to further his own public profile? How can an individual who's been embraced by the city of Chicago turn around and slap everyone in this city in the face by making these false claims? Bogus police reports cause real harm. They do harm to every legitimate victim who's in need of support by police and investigators, as well as the citizens of this city. Chicago hosts one of the largest pride parades in the world, and we're proud of that as a police department and also as a city. We do not, nor will we ever tolerate hate in our city, whether that hate is based on an individual's sexual orientation, race, or anything else. So I'm offended by what's happened, and I'm also angry. I love the city of Chicago and the Chicago Police Department, warts and all. But this publicity stunt was a scar that Chicago didn't earn and certainly didn't deserve. To make things worse, the accusations within this phony attack received national attention for weeks. Celebrities, news commentators, and even presidential candidates weighed in on something that was choreographed by an actor. First, Smollett attempted to gain attention by sending a false letter that relied on racial, homophobic, and political language. When that didn't work, Smollett paid $3,500 to stage this attack and drag Chicago's reputation through the mud in the process. And why? This stunt was orchestrated by Smollett because he was dissatisfied with his salary. So he concocted a story about being attacked.
Tell the truth.
There you have it, everybody. You have the police officer who was speaking there and telling you exactly how he got here. $3,500 that he gave to the Nigerian brothers. They have him on video. He misled the police and what have you. And like I said, that police officer or that chief of police, I believe he ended up losing his job because of some things that were going on in his personal life, something that was a conflict of interest with his job as the chief of police. So you got a lot of issues within the legal and the political system and the policing system in Chicago. And this is why I believe Jussie is guilty. But this is why I believe he did get the time that he got, because they in the Cook County have a high affinity, as I said before, for putting black men, whatever their crime is, putting them in some type of confinement, some type of incarceration. So I just want you to hear that out. Let's hear some more that I want you to see. I have another video. So let's start the other video and get to that video right now.
The truth. Then that's it, because it's the truth.
He's involved in the community. He cares deeply about social justice issues. And for you now to sit here convicted of hoaxing hate crimes, racial hate crimes, and homophobic hate crimes. The hypocrisy is just astounding. I don't know where to begin. I'll remember one thing that will always stick in my mind, and I've been involved in so many trials over the years, but something happened in this trial that it was remarkable, and it talks about your sensitivity to issues of social justice. You're on the witness stand. You're being cross-examined. Your liberty is at stake. It is your criminal trial. Mr. Webb is winding through some things on cross-examination, and he's going through some social media communications, and whether it was Instagram or chat or text, a little quibbling about that doesn't matter. But Mr. Webb found a line that he wanted to confront you with. He said, "Didn't you say," and he used a word starting with the letter N, "meet me at this place at this time," and I'm paraphrasing. And rather than just answer the question, which is what a witness is supposed to do and expected to do in their criminal trial, you stopped the proceedings. You said, "Mr. Webb, out of respect for all the African American people in this courtroom, you should not be using that word." And I was amazed, but it showed, and I'm not talking about the parrying and the gamesmanship that may go on between a prosecutor and a witness on the stand. That's not why I'm telling this, recalling this event. But what I'm talking about is how sensitive you were to any kind of slight, that anybody, if the wrong words come out of somebody else's mouth, you're going to get up and speak up and complain about it, and make sure that they know that they're not behaving the way you're supposed to behave. So you know better than anybody else that these are serious matters. They're serious to you. They're clearly serious to you, and as your whole family. And for you to be here now, convicted of these hate crimes, it's just astonishing. Faking hate crimes. So why did this happen? That's a good question. I think that's the question on everybody's mind. There's some conjecture you did it for the money. Frankly, I do not believe that you did it for the money. You were making, the evidence showed, close to $2 million a year when this happened. I don't think money motivated you at all. But the only thing I can find is that you really craved the attention, and you wanted to get the attention, and you were so invested in issues of social justice, and you knew that this was a sore spot for everybody in this country. You knew this was a country that was slowly trying to heal past injustices and current injustices and trying to make a better future for each other, and it was a hard road, and you took some scabs off some healing wounds and you ripped them apart for one reason. You wanted to make yourself more famous, and for a while it worked. Everybody was talking about you. The lights are on you. You were actually throwing a national pity party for yourself. And why would you do such a thing? Why would you, I understand, you crave the attention so much, but why would you betray something like social justice issues, which you care so much about? And the only thing I can conclude is that, and I acknowledge, there are wonderful sides to you. There are very giving and charitable and loving sides to you, but you have another side of you that is profoundly arrogant and selfish and narcissistic. That's the only thing that can be concluded. And that bad side of you came out during the course of all these events. Let me talk about hate crime.
All right. April Carter, you made a very good point. He should have never put himself in this situation. He's sitting up there using the $5 foot long excuse. As I said before, lying, talking about he was going out to get a sandwich and what have you. As you can see the sandwich on the screen there, and making up all type of bullshit. And I see Brother Rob is in the house. So Rob, what I'm going to do as I get closer to the conclusion of my monologue here, I will be dropping a link in the chat room to have you come up and talk, because you're from Chicago. You can give us some more ground details on this. And if there's anybody else that want to join the panel, we'll have a short panel discussion. But I have more to show you, a few more short clips. And here is the next one.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
And all that we're going through now to try to get around some of these issues, hate crimes are the absolute worst. And I believe that you did damage to real hate crimes. to hate crime victims. There are people that are actual, genuine victims of hate crimes that you did damage to. These are people that have a difficult time coming forward. They may be mistrustful. They may not want to bring it to the attention of the community or first responders. There may be some trepidation. I don't know for sure how much damage there was. I don't know how this is going to impact other people, if they're going to be hesitant to come forward because they're going to think that they're going to be accused of acting like you and doing a stunt like you pulled here. I don't know if first responders are going to be more doubtful and skeptical of people that come forward, real victims of hate crime, because of what you did here. I'm hoping it's not that way. Now I'll show one of the ironies in this case, and I find this pretty profound. I got letters from people that advocate about victims of hate crime their entire lives. They devote their lives to this. I'm talking in particular Derek Johnson, president of the NAACP, Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's an icon here in Chicago. No introductions necessary. They devote their whole lives to addressing issues about social injustice.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please be sure to subscribe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here comes another clip.
Look at him black, watching him flap. Used to see this in my sleep.
Tell the
When I
truth.
had to put my thoughts in the cloud.
Here's another clip. This is the clip where this is the clip right here. This is the one, this is the main one where we all saw that. This is all over a damn foot-long sandwich. That was the premise of his lie. That was the main premise of his lie, that he was going out for a foot-long sandwich. Who in the hell goes out for a foot-long Subway sandwich at 2 a.m. in the morning? You are a celebrity. You got Uber Eats and you got DoorDash. That's crazy. In the middle of the winter in Chicago when it's icy cold outside and there ain't no megaheads running around in Chicago. Chicago ain't even Trump country. His whole goddamn campaign got ran out of there. So that right there was a lot. Everybody in Chicago knows that Messy Jesse. Everybody in Chicago knows that Messy Jesse was lying. Let's go to the next clip. This is the one where he's in court and he gets up and he says, I am not suicidal. And I'm going to tell you, even though it seemed like he was losing his mind or he was putting on an act, I'm going to tell you the reason why he did something that was actually good. And we should all do the same thing when we find ourselves in that situation, because I'm going to bring back a case from back in the past that will give you a reminder of what I mean by this, because that Cook County jail is not a pretty place. And Brother Rob can tell you that when he comes up on the panel. So let's go ahead and hear this one. This is the news report.
Handle the turn.
Damage you've done to yourself is way beyond anything else that can happen to you from me or any other judge that would be sentencing you in this criminal case. You are now a permanently convicted felon. Your family, who loves you and supports you, I only want to use the word forgive because forgiveness isn't even necessary. They're with you so much. They're so tight-knit, but you have to live with the fact that you really put them through a ringer. You've embarrassed your valuable friends in high places, the elected public officials, people in the media. You've embarrassed them. You have to live with that. I don't know if those relationships can be repaired. You become toxic in your own workplace. Your career future is uncertain at the very best. It was really on a rocket ship to success, and now you've turned yourself into riches to rags, and it's so unfortunate. Your very name has become an adverb for lying, and I cannot imagine what could be worse than that. I'm trying to consider who you are as a person, how you got here, how somehow you strayed away from your family values. You let that dark, narcissistic, selfish, and arrogant side come out. And you persisted with it for years in this case. I'm fashioning the following sentence, and here's your sentence. I'm sentencing you to 30 months felony probation, and the probation is going to be to this court. You're going to be allowed to travel wherever you want. You do not have to live in the state of Illinois. You can report by phone. I know that if you're going to try to make a living and do some of the things you do. You may have to go to other places, New York and Los Angeles. You can do those things. You will pay restitution to the city of Chicago in the amount of $120,106. You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine. And you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail. And that will start today, right here, right now.
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I'm not suicidal. That's what I would like to say.
Okay?
I'm not suicidal.
Okay?
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. I am not suicidal.
Mr. Uche, let me inquire, are there any post-sentencing motions you care to present? Support is adjourned.
I am not suicidal.
Stop laughing about black.
I am not suicidal. And I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
All for a damn Subway sandwich.
So bittersweet. Huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder. You know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker.
Tell the truth.
Even when I'm down the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know something that's very important here. I got to let you know something that's very important here, and I must tell the truth and shame the devil. Now, on the outside, you look at Jussie Smollett and you say, well, he's out of his mind. He's saying that he's not suicidal. Maybe he's really crazy. Maybe he's not. Maybe it's all for show. He throws up the Black Power sign. You can hear one of his family members, I believe his sister, saying that you're locking up black men. These are his two sisters right here. You're locking black men up. And it's true. They do lock black men up at a high level in Chicago and all across this country. Very, 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 very true. But I don't know if this man is the poster child for you to be putting up Black Power signs and to be acting as if he's some kind of political prisoner, because Jussie, messy Jussie. He did this to himself. Peace to everybody in the chat room. I see everybody in here. I'm going to open up the chat room and the panel in just a moment. But this I have to bring up because I work in mental health. And I said earlier in this video, for some of you who came in a little bit late, I work in mental health. I see what happens to people when they are under stress. I believe that he is under a lot of stress. And if you are under any level of high stress as he is under, then it does open you up to mental health problems. Stress leads to, because you become depressed, you become angry. And you could tell he's not happy about getting the 150 days in jail. He says, I am innocent, even though a lot of us, if you just do the inductive reasoning here, we know that messy Jussie has told a lie. And what has happened is it has come back to boomerang back into his face. He has burned all bridges with the celebrity world who are rocking with him heavily. He made everybody look like a goddamn fool, whether it be Robin on the ABC interview that he gave, all these damn Holly weird people that were rocking with him. He made them all look like a damn fool. I believe Kim Foxx, who is the top cop in Chicago, I believe she believed him to be innocent of these things, which is why she didn't really originally charge him. But like I said before, people normally don't get heavily charged for running these type of hoax, because basically what he did is he didn't really harm he didn't harm anybody else physically. He simply harmed himself by having his soldiers here, his Nigerian brothers here, by having them beat him up and stage this hoax that he had been a victim of a hate crime, whether it be because he's gay or black. He spinned a web. He wrote a check that his ass could not cash. Okay, his check just bounced on him, ladies and gentlemen, did not cash it. He supposedly hired these men to teach him. Check this out. This is the hypocrisy of this. Hypocrisy. Supposedly he hired these brothers here to teach him about proper nutrition and working out and getting strong body. Well, if you're looking for proper nutrition, my man, Messy Jussie, then why the hell are you eating a Subway sandwich? Why a Subway sandwich would not be the level of proper nutrition? No. I've heard that the Subway may not even Subway. Something's going on funny with their bread, and this is processed meat. So how is that fitting into the all-American, the all-Nigerian muscular workout? So that don't even make sense. If you're trying to eat proper nutrition, you would have those things stocked up in your apartment or your house or condo. You're making $2 million a year and you don't have people go shop for you. You don't go out and shop for your damn self. You don't use DoorDash and all kind of other Uber Eats. And his sisters are standing by him. I believe that this is Jesse's mother to the left, I believe. That's one of his sisters. I got to be honest, the sisters are kind of cute looking, to be quite honest about it. But that's his sisters. And then I think he had his great grandmother, the grandmother, or I guess on the father's, I guess because they're biracial. I think the father was white, Jewish. They're Jewish. And by the way, being Jewish is not a race. Let me correct that. Being Jewish is it's a religious practice, a cultural practice and belief system. Has nothing to do with your race. Anybody of any race can be Jewish. That's why you got Hebrew Israelites, the original Jews. Can I give a clap about that? Or the Ethiopians are the original Jews out of East Africa. So Messy Jussie had his great grandmother. She came up and she spoke. And he had everybody from the NAACP. We had the other Messy Jussie, that being Reverend Jesse Jackson, who came out and spoke for him and said, "Don't give him time, give him a fine." Jussie has burned a lot of bridges. You didn't see any of the Hollywood people come out and go to his. Did you see anybody from Hollywood go to his trial and give him support? No. Okay. So I'm telling you right now from professional experience, Jussie Smollett is under a lot of heavy stress. One, he's in prison. Now he's going to be doing 150 days in jail. That's not natural for anybody. Being in jail is not natural for anybody. It's not healthy for your sanity, your mind, your body, your spirit. So I argue that Jussie is under a stress, which could lead to an impact on his mental health, even though he said he was not mentally ill. And let me tell you why he said that. This is why we should all say this, because Cook County jail or prison is a terrible place to be. Well, even if they put him in protective custody, which he will be in protective custody because he's a high profile case. That's facts.
Tell the truth.
I know because I work in these kind of environments. He will get a psychological evaluation because that's what we do. But why he said the right thing, ladies and gentlemen, is because we know that when black men and women go to a jail or a prison, a lot of weird stuff happens to us. We mysteriously end up dead. We mysteriously end up with a rope around our neck, and they say, hey, he committed suicide. Hey, he was suicidal. Hey, he took his own life. He was hopeless and stressed out. Whenever something happens strange to black people in the prison environment, that's the go-to word. Well, he took his life. And that's why I think Jussie was smart to say what he said. He was basically saying to everybody in America and in that courtroom, if I go in that jail and something happens to me, I want y'all to know right now, it wasn't because I was suicidal. He's basically saying it's because they did something to me. In this world, on this planet, in this kind of environment, Cook County Jail or maximum security jail, that is one of their cells. Jussie Smollett is correct in saying what he did when saying what he said. He's trying to alert everybody in the world. If something happens to me, I didn't do it, because this has certainly happened to black people in the past. Let's take a journey down. Let's take a journey here. Do you remember? Does anybody recognize who this woman is that I'm about to put on the screen right now? If you recognize who she is, please either put a 1 in the chat room or write her name in the chat room.
Tell the truth.
Who is the woman you see on the screen? This is why what Jussie said was correct. He was correct to tell everybody he was not suicidal, that if something happens to him, he didn't say it in exactly those words, but he said, I want y'all to know that I am not suicidal. You have to know that is what he said. That is Sandra Bland. That's right. What happened to Sandra Bland? Let's go down memory lane. On July 20th, 2015, Sandra Bland, 28 years old, was found hanging in a Texas jail cell after she had been in police custody for 3 days following an arrest allegedly assaulting a police, which was bullshit.
Tell the truth.
Officer doing a traffic stop. That police officer harassed her. The image may be subject to copyright. Learn more. That's what happened to Sandra Bland. And ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, for those of you that are YouTubers or content creators, matter of fact, Sandra Bland was a content creator. She had a YouTube channel. And on her YouTube channel, you could clearly tell that this was a woman that was not suicidal. This was a woman that was enjoying life. Her family swore by it. They said that she was college educated. She was very happy. She had a lot to live for. That's why when Messy Jussie his mug shot, ladies and gentlemen, when Messy Jussie sat up there and told those lies and sat up there and at the end of this trial and said, y'all got to know that I'm not suicidal, that was a smart move by Jussie. I think it was calculated for him to do that, because if something happens to him, he wants everybody to know he was not suicidal. He wants you to hear his last words in case it becomes his last words. Because Cook County and their jail and their correctional system is shady to the core. Shady to the core. Just as Sandra Bland, we were told that she hung herself in the jail. And her family said, no, there's no way she could have done this. Let me show you something. I want you guys to examine this photo carefully. I did a video some years ago on this, and many people agree that when the prison in the county that she was arrested in and put in jail, and then later they said she hung herself when she had a lot to live for, according to the family and all friends. She didn't want to be in prison. She didn't want to be in jail. They showed a shot of her. Many people believe that this was a staged picture of her, that she actually was already dead, and they simply laid her on the ground, took the photograph with her eyes open to make it look like she was alive. But when you look at her eyes, it had no soul in it. It was like she was gone from the body. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. I want y'all to look at the picture carefully. Take a good look at that photograph. I contend that they did something to Sandra Bland in that jail, as many of you also believe as well, that they took her life. She struggled against them under their custody. They took her life, and then they staged this photo to make it look like she was still alive when she actually was not alive. When you look at her eyes, they have no life to it. When you look at most of her pictures on YouTube, on her YouTube channel, and most of the photographs, she had life and spirit in her. This looks like a photograph of someone who is no longer in the third dimension because her life is gone out of that body. The spirit is gone out of that body. And the police staged this. A lot of us believe this to be true. How many of you in the chat room right now believe that the photograph that you're looking at is of a woman who is alive? If you believe that this is a picture of a woman that was already dead when they took it, put a 1 in the chat room. If you believe that she is alive in this picture, put a 2, and put a 3 in the chat room if you just don't know. If you believe this is a picture, that's staged picture, put a 1. If you think that she is alive, put a 2. She has no life to her face, in my opinion. If you just don't know, put a 3. Empress says 1. I am Tracy, I can't read that, says 1. Honorable says 1. Lolo Queen says 1. Machessa says 3. I can never say the sister's name right, but I enjoy you coming over to the chat room all the time and being a part of the discussions and being a part of everything. Let me put you on the screen right here. Good to see you, my sister. Good to see. She says 3. She just doesn't know. We got Natural saying doesn't know. Marcellus Miller doesn't know. Bonnie Rose doesn't know. So that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. If you're not sure at what you're looking at, it's fair. But what we do know is true is that she ended up mysteriously no longer alive. So when messy Jussie gets up in the courtroom and says, you have to know, you've got to know that I'm not suicidal, I think he was smart to say that because you just don't know what's going to go down in the prison environment that he's in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I open up the panel, I have another breaking news story for you as it relates to messy Jussie. And like I said, I always am going to bring a different analysis, a more deeper analysis and breakdown of the situation. Before I play this audio that's going to blow your socks off, let me play the last video where his family, because this is related to his brother, the audio that I'm going to play for you very soon. Let's play this last video that I have where you actually have his family discussing their disgust over the sentence. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Information is power.
He spoke about his arrogance. He doesn't know the struggles my brother is encountering. He doesn't know anything that he's dealing with. He doesn't know anything that he's dealing with. He's spent all that time shaming him. In 2022, we don't shame people like this. All right? He basically called him a mental case. All right? If you look at that testimony, he basically reiterated and regurgitated all the prosecutor said. There was no independence. This is a duly elected judge in Cook County. He's supposed to be elected by the people, not just a stooge and a rubber stamp for the prosecutors. And I'm very disappointed, very disappointed.
What's your name again, sir?
My name is Jojo Smollett. I'm his oldest brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have something I want to say quickly.
Your name, ma'am?
My name is Jussie Smollett. I'm his older sister. First of all, I want to say my brother is innocent. My brother Jussie is innocent. This should not be a controversial statement because it is the absolute truth. What should be controversial is the entire miscarriage of justice this whole ordeal has been. I pray peace over my brother. I pray the peace of God over my brother and all victims of oppression and hate. I pray that we can do better as a world. May the God of peace be with you. Shalom.
Your name, sir?
My name is Jussie Smollett. I'm Jussie's youngest brother. My brother does not deserve this. I watched my brother go from being a complete victim, which he still is. He was attacked, and he is now going to jail for being attacked. I saw my brother get locked up within 2 weeks for being attacked. Do you know how crazy that is? They want to say in that court and say that he's the reason why folks aren't going to report hate crimes. They're the reason why folks aren't going to report hate crimes.
Because none of you believed it.
None of y'all believed it. We have letters from the NAACP, President Derek Johnson himself. We have letters from Rainbow Push Coalition. We have letters from the Innocence Project, all saying that he should not be in jail. And they put him in jail. That judge chastised him. He chastised my brother. He does not deserve this. He was attacked. Do people never once think, even the folks who are naysayers, do you ever once think what happens if he's telling the truth?
He's telling the truth.
Do y'all ever think about how poorly you feel in that situation?
You got issues, Jussie.
I miss you again.
You got issues.
Tell the truth.
I can be so selfish. Spend more time when
Jussie's got issues.
Tell the truth.
Forgive my attitude.
Forgive his attitude. He had a lot of attitude too.
Cake and eat it too. But a little grace would be enough for me to prove.
Tell the truth.
Baby, you the remedy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. All right. So therefore, there you have his family saying that he got more time than most people get for doing what he did. I don't know why black people keep hollering out things like Rainbow Push Coalition and the NAACP. I got to keep it real with you. Maybe this is going to sound disrespectful what I'm saying, but the Rainbow Push Coalition that's run by Jesse Jackson and the NAACP, they ain't got no juice no more. They ain't got no juice. Ain't nobody shaking in their boots when you say the NAACP, especially the Rainbow. First of all, where the hell has the Rainbow Push Coalition been any damn way? That's Jesse Jackson's organization. Matter of fact, where's their headquarters? Nobody is shaking in their boots when you say, well, you know, the Rainbow Coalition and the NAACP, Derek Johnson, the same Derek Johnson that sat up there on that video and allowed Joe Biden to tongue lash them about you black people, you better get with the Latinos because they got more population than you. Remember that damn meeting that got leaked that was on YouTube? That was a meeting. You had Al Sharpton, you had Derek Johnson, and who's who within that black power class. And they sat up there and they let Joe Biden, Jim Crow Biden, talk to them any kind of way. And they didn't give him no pushback. And that was Derek Johnson, the president of the NAACP, who used to also be who's part of that black caucus. And so if they can't even give pushback to the president sitting up there talking to them like they little kids with overalls on in school, what make you think anybody is frightened of the NAACP under the leadership of Derek Johnson, who couldn't even stand up and tell Joe Biden, wait a minute, man, watch how you talking to us. We put your ass in office. More than any other group in this country. Now, this is why I told you that mental health can hit you in so many different ways. Jussie says he's not mentally ill, but when you go in prison, they have to evaluate you. Here is his brother right now talking about him. This is the breaking news that I have for you. His brother has just come out. I think his brother might have a YouTube channel, but his brother came out and said that they have just put Jussie under suicide watch, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen in right now, and I'll explain to you how this works. Let's listen to this right now. His brother is speaking. The younger brother that you see to the right here is who is talking right now. Here we go.
Tell the truth.
At Cook County Jail, what's very concerning is that there was a note attached to his paperwork today and put on the front of his jail cell saying that he's at risk of self-harm. I want to just make it clear to folks that he is in no way, shape, or form at risk of self-harm. And he wants to let folks know that he is very stable, he is very strong, he is very healthy and ready to take on the challenge that ultimately has been put up against him. This is not right. This is completely lack of justice. It's angering, it's an outrage, but he ultimately knows what he needs to do. So we want to make sure that folks understand that, you know, whatever inside Cook County Jail what assumptions they may be making. I don't know why they even have him in a psych ward. We still have not gotten clear answers there and why he's even in a psych ward. And they've recently added to his documentation that he's at risk of harming himself. That is absolutely not true. So please make sure y'all are spreading facts. The media is going to report a lot of false information, and we really need our people.
Tell the truth.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me let you know something from my experience. So it is commonplace to put individuals that are new to prison or new to jail or anyone who they deem may have some psych issues. It is under the law. You have to give people a psych evaluation, because if something would happen and they would say that, what did you do? Did you give this person an evaluation? The doctors and nurses, everyone could lose their licenses, because you're supposed to give a person a evaluation when they come into jail or they come into prison. You're supposed to, in case something happens, you have a baseline to understand where they are mentally. So right now, his brother is not very happy about Smollett, his brother, Jussie Smollett, Messy Jussie or Juicy or whatever the hell you want to call him right now. He's not happy about his brother being in these types of circumstances, as I have to tell the truth. And then when you go, once again, they have to give you an evaluation. They have to assess you, because I said earlier in this broadcast, this man is under stress. So anything is possible. However, his brother to the right of me, as you see on there, is saying that this is make believe. Don't believe what you hear, what have you. I'm telling you that his brother is not being completely honest. I'm telling you from firsthand experience that when someone comes into jail or prison who is high profile, like Jussie Smollett, Messy Jussie, you have to give them an evaluation, because he's high profile, which means you are under risk of something happening. If something happens to Jussie in there, there's going to be hell to pay because of his whole high profile status. He ain't just some regular inmate or jailee. So they're going to evaluate him as such. So I have to put that up. And remember, people were out there protesting for Jussie. When this whole thing broke out and Jussie got out there and told those lies, he had people out there, as you can see right here, people out there were protesting, just like people were protesting the Laquan McDonald situation, right? But there were certainly people, not on the numbers of what was out there for Laquan McDonald. As you can see, the Laquan McDonald Black Lives Matter, they were marching for him back when he was harmed. But there were people, not large numbers of people, but there were certainly people out there who believed in Messy Jussie and what he did. Let me show you something right here when it came to the Laquan McDonald case. Just a little tidbit here. A long secret inspector general reported releasing Wednesday by the city of Chicago revealed a highly critical look at police officers involved in the 2014 shooting of Laquan McDonald, particularly Jason Van Dyke, who reportedly claimed violated police rules, filed a false police report, and made false statements about the shooting. They shot the man badly. What I'm basically saying to you, this is the type of custody that Jussie is under. He is under the custody of this type of law enforcement, this type of ideology and thinking where they lie, they chump up charges on people and what have you. Jussie has no one but himself to blame for his circumstances, for putting himself in these circumstances. Let me read the chat. Now, I put a vote in the chat room earlier today, and I said, do you think that Jussie Smollett should have gotten 150 days in jail? 63% of you in the chat room, and those who could vote, 63% of you said yes. 37% of you said no. So I find that a very interesting poll right now. Very interesting. Okay. So Jussie right now is under suicide watch. And let me show you what they put you in when you're under suicide watch. They put you in what they call a suicide smuck. There it is. I see guys in this all the time in my profession. Matter of fact, in my profession, I have to make decisions with a team of other clinicians whether a man needs to be put in a suicide smock because he may be a danger to himself or a danger to others. And we have to evaluate them and ask them questions like, are you suicidal? Are you hearing voices? Are you feeling hopeless? Are you stressed? What is your depression level from a scale of 1 to 10? Where are you on that scale? Are you a 9, a 8, a 7, a 6, or 5 in your depression? All these things have to be evaluated. And so when someone is suicidal, has said they're suicidal, or has a potential for suicidality to take their life or harm themselves, you must strip them out of their regular blues that they put them in or whatever they wear, and you must put them in this smuck. Let me show you Exhibit B. That's Antonio Brown. Remember Antonio Brown and the way he's been acting lately? The football player, he walked off the field with the Buccaneers. Well, this is Antonio Brown. This is what they look like when they put you in that smock. Antonio Brown right there. There it is. Bang. Antonio Brown is wearing the smock that this lady has right here. That's what they put you in because it's a no tear smock, meaning you can't tear it up, you can't bite it up, you can't do whatever to do harm to yourself, but they don't want you in the cell being completely buck naked. I tell the truth on that one.
Tell the truth.
That's Antonio Brown. They put him in a suicide smock because they thought that he was a danger to himself or others, possibly. That's what's going on with Jussie Smollett right now. They feel that he might be a danger to himself or maybe others. They're just being cautious in case something does happen because he's in an environment now that he's not used to being in. Okay? Let me also bring this up. There's already celebrities out there that are starting to throw shade at messy Jussie, like 50 Cent. 50 Cent has already had some things to say about messy Jussie, already trying to clown him and stuff like that. It's interesting. He's saying, you know, you put yourself in that situation, man. Let's go to guess who else is opening up their mouth and should shut their mouth up. Believe it or not, this is right off of his Twitter account. And guess what? He's already scrubbed it off his Twitter account. But this is messy ass Kyle Rittenhouse. Check out what Kyle Rittenhouse. This is the same Kyle Rittenhouse that gave you all those crocodile white tears and he got off for shooting 2 people. He shot 3 people, killed 2, and injured 1. And he got off, and they're now the Trump supporters and all the far right are trying to make a damn hero out of this man. They're inviting him to all types of right-wing, white-wing conferences. That's right. We often say right-wing. No, it's the white wing, okay? Conferences, okay? This is what messy Kyle Rittenhouse has written. The media calls me a white supremacist from the start, and instead they called Jussie Smollett innocent. I'm thankful for our justice system in America It doesn't work like the dishonest media who refuse to get the answers before declaring innocent guilt and the guilty innocent. So basically, he's basically saying that they gave Jussie Smollett the easy road and did not say, hey, you know, this man was guilty. There was a lot of criticism of Jussie, Messy Jussie. There was a lot of criticism of him, but Kyle Rittenhouse should basically shut his butt up and stay out of black folks' business because he got out of prison because of his white privilege, and he had a judge who was all in love with him, a judge that damn near treated him like he was his son.
Tell the truth.
So he shouldn't even be in this. But now he want to sit up here and say, well, you know, Jussie Smollett got better treatment than I got. Well, you shot two people and you killed, you killed two people and you shot one person. Messy Jussie did not kill anybody. He simply made himself the victim by having the two Nigerian guys beat the shit out of him and act like he was attacked by mega hat wearing individuals for his sexuality and his blackness. Not because he shot anybody, a Kyle Rittenhouse. See, Kyle should shut up, stop talking. We don't need to hear from you. You got your white privilege. You got off very easily. And you don't need to be getting yourself involved in other bullshit. Let me put this other slider up here. This goes back to the Jason Van Dyke case. I want to just throw this up here real quick. This is from an article. And right here it says here, Jason Van Dyke lied, refused to cooperate with the police probe while other officers destroyed evidence. This is the type of police environment and law enforcement environment that Messy Jussie is going to find himself in for 150 days. Not only did Jason Van Dyke, as it relates to Laquan McDonald, lied on his police report, falsified things, but you also had other officers who destroyed the evidence in the Laquan McDonald murder. City Watchdog says Inspector General Joseph Ferguson concluded in June 2016 that Van Dyke made false reports, false statements, and material omission in efforts to exaggerate the threat that McDonald posed. He posed no threat. He was walking in a damn street. This is the type of environment that one Jussie, Messy Jussie, is now finding himself in. And it is his own fault, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to just sit up here and say that the $5 footlong man did not do this to himself. He was his own worst enemy. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to drop a link in the chat room if anybody wants to come up and have a conversation for a short period of time about this case, get some things off of your chest, your thoughts about it. If Brother Rob is still out there listening to the broadcast, he's from Chicago, please come up on the chat, on the panel, so that we can hear your perspective about Messy Jussie and the whole case in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, let me play a little bit of music and get us going for this right now and see where we can go. Here we go.
Lately it's looking like everything perfect. Out the mud with it, I put the work in. You can find me where the turf is. Pin precision like a surgeon. Bad ones used to curb me. Showing up to the show when the curse split. She know that I'm worth it. I'm finna go up on aerial. I got the hit stash, got a bracelet for impact. Real tricky, quick to flip a pretty penny to a thick stack. Quick stat, think fast and I talk real. I give a fuck about how they feel. Me and Zay just dropped the propane and it sounded like mass appeal. For my dog, I'ma ride to the wheels kill. Got his hand on the hammer, so keep it legit. I've been the man with the blueprint, I won't stop till I own every brick. I used to lay out in the lawn just to feel the world spin on its axis. Now I got the access and the last laugh, got it off of the passion. I keep it 100 on the dash now that we got our subtraction. Slick talker, I'm a showstopper, you are not solid. Tread cautious, couldn't go a mile in my toe boxes. Stun the shade with the Visine, light it up to bring the vibe in. Lime tint, color spot beam on me, I'm a star every night lit, ultraviolet. Hey, I told her make sure that phone is on silent so we know what the vibe is. Take a look in my iris, I think she know that I'm high risk. I never know what the time is, I never know when my mind went. Hey, I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Look, it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that, hey, I got a lot on my plate. I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Look, it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that I used to toss a coin in the waterfalls, in the wishing well. Now I get plenty coin, bitch, I'm self-made. You ain't gotta wish me well. You ain't like me then, but I guess it's past tense, cause you tapped in. You was never who you said. I see the facade when looking, they really be that quick to tell. My guard up, I ain't taking nails. If it's not in my favor, won't sign a deal. I got the royalty in the mail, I got authority in the field. Take a look in my iris, I be precise with the timing. I move on the tuck, that shit high risk. I never know where my mind went. Ayy, I got a lot on my plate. I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Like it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that, ayy, I got a lot on my plate. I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight.
Hey, Info, you muted right now, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Rob, Brother Rob, for coming up on the panel. And Victory Begins in the Garden. I thank you for coming up on the panel as well. I am definitely looking forward to hearing what you both have to say about this Jussie Smollett case, your thoughts about this. You're from Chicago, Rob, and I definitely want to get some insight. And sister, thank you for coming up. How you doing, by the way?
I'm doing good. How are you?
All right. Are you from Chicago too?
No. I'm from New York, but I do just want to make a few points. One,
yes.
I think that I'm kind of getting sick of celebrities using our legitimate Black struggles to further their own agenda.
Yes.
And this is a prime example of it. For raising your Black power fist. Sometimes Black people do things that are illegal, and when they get caught, sometimes they get punished. I don't think he needs to be in jail for, I think maximum sentence was something like 10 years. But they said 5 months. I heard that if he has good behavior, he'll be out in 2 months. That's, I mean, that's fair. He has to pay a fine. That's fair.
Yes.
I mean, and his family is just enabling him and coddling him. And they're sitting there. This is not a Black issue. This is a person who did something wrong, who needs to be held accountable in some way, shape, or form. He shouldn't get off scot-free. Some people don't think he needs to be in jail, but he's in jail. Accept it. Move on. I would not be out there marching in the street for him. This is not that. I mean, people who did march in the streets when this came out, they put their lives at risk. Cops don't like protesters,
right?
You know? So you have to think about these people who stood up for you when you said you needed help, and they came out.
Yes,
and that to me is low. But that's all I wanted to say.
Well, let me say this to you, sister, and let me say, let me put my mic down a little bit. Let me say peace to Doc H19D. Thank you for coming over. Trish, who's in the chat room, thank you for coming over. Brown Girl Bella is in the house. Golden Melanin, everybody that's in there. Good sister right here. I wonder if he was straight. Come on up on the panel, sister. I'd like to get your perspective. Let me ask you this. Do you agree or disagree with me? And there's no problem if you disagree, that in some way he was actually kind of smart to say, if something happens to me, I want you to know that I'm not suicidal. Because as I said before, and I used those examples from a long time ago, but it's real when Black people go into, and of course he's going to get protective custody because he's high profile. So they don't want anything to happen to him because it would look really bad on that county. But strange things do happen to Black people when we're under the custody in these jails and prisons. And I'm not going to tell all my business, but I have seen stuff myself in my own profession.
Yeah, going to jail is a dangerous thing. It doesn't matter who you are. But he did this to himself. So he was smart to say he doesn't feel suicidal, but
Yes.
he also did that to gain sympathy from those who want to gain who buys his stuff.
Yes.
I don't think that it is it's I mean I don't wish him harm. I don't
Yes.
wish him more jail time. Sometimes when we do things, we got to be held accountable. Everybody,
Yes.
So he did this, and there's nothing you can tell me that he says he didn't do this. We're
Right.
I mean, definitely so. You just got to take your licks, and like from what I don't know. Do you know if he can get good behavior points and get out early?
Yeah, if he follows all the rules and directions and he doesn't become a problem in there, he'll probably get some benefit where he may get out early. And because they're going to put him in a protective custody situation, I would bet because of the fact that he's super high profile, he probably will have little to no problem, I think, being able to have good behavior and get out early. We'll just see what happens. One of the reasons why I was making a sticking point about this earlier in my presentation is because if you go and look at the history, there's really not been too many cases, if at all, where someone has done any jail time because they put a hoax in which nobody was either killed, where it was just them harming themselves and wasting the public money and dime, as he did here in Chicago.
But
my sister.
He's doubling and tripling down. And when you double and triple down, they got to make an example of you.
Yes, he had to be made example of.
He kept on speaking and digging a hole deeper and deeper and deeper.
Right.
So that's why they went after him. If he would have just fall back, and then he got his whole family enabling him. Like the family to me is worse because I'm not saying he needs help. He needs to be shown how to take accountability for his actions, and his family isn't helping him, and that to me is sad. But that's all I wanted to say.
Well, one of the reasons why you can make the argument that his family is kind of enabling him because he's probably the breadwinner of the family. He's probably been helping everybody in the family with his newfound success and money. So you got to think about that too, that here you have a brother who's making $2 million a year, whatever he's making, an influx of money that maybe the family members are gaining some benefit from. So it's kind of like, wait a minute, we got to make sure our brother isn't not able to continue keeping us on this gravy train. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I just want to see what their counter evidence is. Was it not those Nigerians that attacked him? Did they not rehearse this? Have it on video? I want to see what the counter evidence is. I haven't seen it.
And they got it on video with them buying all the material that they were going to use, including the noose, I believe, that he happened to. And this is another thing too. When he had the noose around his neck and he kept saying, "Should I take it off?" That to me was phony. Nobody who has a noose put around their neck is going to keep a noose on their neck. The first thing you're going to do is take it off. The visceralness of that's going to make you take it off. So It's just crazy. Jussie is messy.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for coming up and thank you for your support, sister. Coming over and spending time in the chat room and doing what you do. I really appreciate that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to come to you, Sister Honorable. Brother Rob, I got to ask you, you're from Chicago. You're an educator. What are your thoughts about this whole messiness from the outside in, from the inside in, or whatever we call it?
No doubt. Thank you for having me. I would just start off by saying, I think the sister was right by saying that, and you saying also that the family is enabling him. This is Chicago, and when you if they have evidence and you go to court and you still lie,
yes,
man, he lucky that he got 150 days. Like this is not this Cook County is no place to be playing games. And he had chances to come clean.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When you have a family member who is that high up on the food chain and the political structure in Chicago, the DA,
yes,
man, you supposed to take advantage of that. All right, y'all, my fault. I'm sorry. Hey, look, man, I shouldn't have did that. He had chances. And so by him continuing and doubling down, when you get into court, so you can do all of that, that's well known in the media here in Chicago. You can do all of that in the media, but when you get to court, all games is over now. You know what I'm saying? You in front of a judge that's trying to move up, and they not about to be playing games in a courtroom with you.
Right.
He lied in court, info.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
In open court where everybody's seen him. Man, y'all are lucky that is usually you get a year in jail in Cook County.
Let me ask you this, Rob. Here we go with if he was not a celebrity or someone that was well known, and he was just a regular, everyday working brother out there in the streets of Chicago, and had did what he did, what do you think would have happened?
Yeah, it wouldn't have went this far. So all right, when they did the initial investigation, like you said, info, these people had what type of hats on? Fool, do you think we stupid? Your ass got jumped, and now you can look and identify hats. Are we fucking dumb? Are you dumb? I'm sorry for cussing.
No, you telling the truth.
Man, come on, man.
Tell the truth.
We always like, man, get your goof ass out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With your dumb ass. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's why I brought up. I think tell me if I'm wrong or right. When Donald Trump and his people tried to set up shop in Chicago, and they got ran the hell out. So they that's not mega country. That's why that didn't even make sense.
Exactly, bro. If you walking around with a MAGA hat on in Chicago, hey man, a white boy might beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's real.
Matter of fact, Trump was supposed to have a rally there, and they started fighting. People was getting their ass whipped out there in Chicago by the Chicago people. I remember that. So it's real what you said.
Yeah, and that was around the time when, not just Laquan McDonald, other brothers was getting shot by the police. And we was mad as hell. And now you think because you running for president, you about to have a rally in Chicago?
Right.
Are you crazy, sir?
Right.
This is a Democratic stronghold.
Right. But see, I'm going to bring the sister in just a moment. I have to agree with the sister right here who has written something that where's all the energy when these Karens are out here harassing black people, right? None of these Karens have been dragged through a trial that I know of, Brother Rob. Do you know of one?
No, not at all. But this is what make that apples and oranges, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. So with the initial investigation, they said no crime here. He should have left it there, but because he's a celebrity, air quotes, right? Then they form a task force. The task force, like, look, Joe, we know it ain't. We seen everything. We got the cameras. This is CPD, man. These are not. Hey, everybody, listen. These are not the people you play with, fam. They are not, bro. Like, everybody know that, man. This is not a town where you play around with the police. If they tell you pull out your ID, hey, pull it out, fam. Man, it's not gonna be okay. You screaming your rights and all that, man. They're gonna beat you up. That's what's gonna happen.
And he picked the wrong place, as I was reading earlier, that they are very heavy-handed with black men in terms of incarceration in their system in Cook County. It's not a pretty place to be, and not a place you want to be. I think they've even had some riots and fights in one of their more, I guess, their max environments or whatever. Yeah, so they got some serious problems. And so
it's so for everybody that's so fearful of Cook County, please understand.
Okay.
Right? Inside of Cook County, you literally have real deal street gangs. They take it serious. This is no place in the world for you to be playing around if you go to jail in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For real. They gonna ask you, who are you? You better have a really good answer to that question. And I don't mean your name. You know what I'm saying? You better have, man, it's not a man. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? That's what I can say to that. You know what I'm saying? Because people people that be talking all this street stuff, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, behind them walls, fam. Yeah, you find out if you a gangster for real now. You know?
Yeah, you're right. Well, I know firsthand what you're talking about. They play for keeps. They don't play around with you. And but I suspect Jesse's going to be treated fairly well, because I'm sure that the Chicago the police, their whole corrections, they don't want any light being shined on them. If it comes out that he's being harassed and beat up in there, I don't think they want that kind of press.
Let me be honest with you, Info. If this man go in there with any ideas of him having special treatment, bro,
okay,
he will be severely disappointed. You know what I'm saying? They do not play that in Cook County, bro. In Cook County, everybody treated the same. Yeah, if you have profile, they make sure that ain't nobody going, touch you up in there. But like, if you get to talking crazy to the guards or anything like that, bro, oh my man.
Okay, Golden Melanin says, what's going on, Golden Melanin? Good to see you, sister. She says they're going to treat him like he's in a country club. But what you're saying, Rob, is that they don't give you good special treatment in Cook County. I've heard about that about Cook County, their prison system and their correction system, and it ain't pretty. So that's why I'm saying, if anything, they'll keep him in protective custody. Right. I'm not saying that they're going to treat him with like he's going to get caviar and wine and cheese and crackers, but they're going to keep him away from probably the hardcore guys, because it'll be a bad look on their system.
Oh, absolutely.
If something was to happen to him in the hardcore part of that prison or that jail.
Ain't nothing going to happen to him, because he going to be out in a short period of time.
Right.
And they still got to deal with, man, y'all don't understand. Them guards are some of the biggest men I've ever seen in the history of my life.
Wow.
Oh my God. Hey, listen, man. Them dudes are, man, they look like, oh man, what his name? Ron Coleman? Man, that's all it is, bro. And there's big swole. And when they say come here, you better come. You know what I'm saying? If they say put everything down, put it down, man. Put it down. Okay. Man, because you don't want it with them dudes, man. For real, no COs in Cook County Correctional or anybody to be playing with at work or after work. For real, man. For real.
Well, I'm going to bring in the sister. Rob, I really appreciate the things that you're saying, because you brought very good perspective. Let me hear from the sister Arnable. And how do you pronounce the other name, sister? I want to get your name right.
So it's the Honorable Angelina Nordstrom.
Angelina Nordstrom, all right. I know Nordstrom. I'm really bad with names, but thank you, Angelina, for coming up, Nordstrom, and I thank you for being here. I remember seeing you yesterday when I was with the brothers over in the House of X Entertainment. They interviewed me yesterday. I believe you were over there yesterday, leaving really good messages in the chat. And so I would like to get your thoughts about this Jussie or Messy situation.
I'm sorry, that messy Jussie is just tickles the hell out of me. Okay, so I'm gonna give some context as to what I have seen from the beginning. So first of all, I live in Chicago as well.
Oh, okay.
And not only do I live in Chicago, but I'm also part of the LGBTQ community as well.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of additional context I do want to provide. The first thing is, when this whole thing first came out, everyone came out in support of him, and of course I was too. However, when it came out that the brother was guilty or that he faked it all up or whatever, it was like everybody turned on him. Black Twitter turned on him. Most of the LGBTQ community turned on him, or at least the ones in Chicago that I know of. And I know a lot of people. And he just went into hiding. And even though what most people don't know is he's actually directing a movie that's slated to come out at the end of the year, he's been
Jussie?
quiet. Yes,
he's making a movie.
Yeah,
he got time to make a movie when he. Oh my God,
he's creating he's making a movie version of the classic book by James Earl Hardy called B-Boy Blues. So if you're not part of the LGBTQ community, you're probably not going to know that book.
Okay.
But anyway,
but
let me ask you this question.
because you can give a perspective, because I know I said some things about the LGBTQ community today, but doesn't it seem like, look, we're black and then we have our sexuality preferences. But what I noticed at the end of the day, when it came down to Jussie, they didn't give a damn about what his preferences are. At the end of the day, he was in a county that you don't want to mess around with, and they gave him some type of time like they would give any black man, no matter what your sexuality is, what your feelings are about that. But doesn't it seem like, tell me if I'm wrong or right, that some in the LGBTQ community kind of said, you know what, the hell with Jussie. We're not going to put no flag up for him.
Yeah, you're right.
And where were the white? See, this is the thing. You have a lot of these white folks within that community that are very racist towards black people that are gay. You didn't see many of them waving a flag for old Jussie.
No, you didn't see many of them at all. In fact, I didn't see any of them, and I don't tend to pay much attention to white folk like that.
I get what you're saying, but I'm making a point for a reason, because many people just sort of said, the hell with him, right? And I understand. He lied to everybody. He burned social capital with people. He burned people in the media, people within his own community. He burned, and I don't see, do you think he's going to be able to rebuild his career and come back from this?
If he does, there's only going to be a very select few people who will still interact with him or work with him. For example, like you mentioned, there were some people from Hollywood that came to support him, and I've seen posts of people that supported him, and you know, and I think it was only in the respect of the jail time was too severe. Everything else very much justified. 30 months of probation, justified. The $120,000 restitution, justified. The $25,000 fine, justified. That jail time, however, we have thousands of people who participated in the January 6th insurrection, who are serving no jail time or a very, very minimal jail time.
Very good point.
Not even paying a fine.
Nobody in that January 6th right now is sitting in a prison cell as of right now, meaning they have not been convicted and given their sentence. Nobody. Matter of fact, some of them have been put on at-home arrest. At home.
At home. And then in addition, it took over a year to start finding, you know, a good chunk of these people who participated.
Right.
And many of them are not hard to find. I mean, I know white folk tend to look alike, but they're not that hard to find. All you got to do is, if you know somebody who was there, you just go ahead and post it on social media. But it started eventually coming out. But even then, there are thousands more who were part of it. And Chicago was really on top of reporting those who were from this area who were part of that. And a lot of them are still getting away with it with just having probation. And not only that, but it actually is a federal crime because they committed this act on federal property.
Yeah.
And they're still getting away with it. Whereas Jussie, he committed a non-violent offense. And the one thing that no one mentioned other than me is that it was a first time non-violent offense, but he's getting 150 days in jail.
Which is why I believe his family, even though they are in denial of him actually committing this crime, they feel, as they said, the Rainbow Push Coalition and the NAACP, they're all saying that he should not be doing any time, but rather maybe some community service and fines and all of that. And you had people like Jesse Jackson and all those prominent folks in Chicago and about that tried to go to bat for him. Of course, all the other celebrities, all of his cast members on Empire, you haven't heard a peep or a hi from them. And I think they're probably saying, you know what, he's poison now. We got to stay away from old Jussie, messy Jussie. Let me ask you this question before I come to the conclusion today.
You mind if I weigh in?
I want you to weigh in too, brother. Yes.
All right.
Why do you believe? Well, we know that the family is enabling him, but why do you believe?
He got.
No. Let me say this right. Why, if any reason, is Jussie continuing to maintain this lie? Because in some ways he's saying he's not mentally ill, that he's not suicidal. But in some ways, the fact that he keeps repeating the lie makes him come off as if he's mentally not screwed upstairs right. Because I guess the old saying is, if you keep saying a lie over and over again, it will become the truth, and the truth will become a lie. I don't know.
Look here. Let's be straight up now.
Yes.
They had an initial investigation on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
No crime committed. The officer laughed. Like, come on, Sarge. All right. Jussie Smollett continued to push the lie. And then they form a task force because he's a celebrity. And then they asked, hey, look here, we didn't pay, I think it was like almost $200,000. That's why the fine in court was $120,000, right?
Yes.
They paid off, that was about almost $200,000 that they had to put in the manpower. They asked him, hey, pay us this and we'll call it even.
Mm-hmm.
He golfed at it. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And the next thing you know, it went to court. All bets are off when you get into court. When the man get to court, you can't forget this. He lied in open court. Not only is he charged with felonies where he could have been in jail for 10 years. Mm-hmm. 10 years. I got homies, right, that didn't do shit. Well, I shouldn't say they didn't do nothing. All right. They didn't get caught doing nothing. But because a police officer put them at the scene, fam.
Right.
And they show up to court and report to that because it's what you can prove in court.
Yeah, it's not what you say, it's what you can improve. You can prove. That's right. They
had 2 investigations and the man lied against 2 police investigations in court. That's crazy. It's disrespectful to the judge. He is lucky he got the 150 days.
Right. And that's why the judge gave him a tongue lashing and said that he set back, people who are victims of hate crime. And the judge, I think the judge was grandstanding just a little bit because he knew the cameras were on and he's probably trying to get him a little TV show too. But everybody tries to come up on these big cases like this. The Jussie is his own. He is his own enemy. He conjured up this story, made this story up. Young people in Chicago, tell me if I'm wrong or right. I heard, what's that brother? I like that brother's channel. He lives out there in Chicago where you at, Brother Rob. Pharaoh says that. He said that, hey, wait a minute. Young people in Chicago, they know about Uber Eats and they know about DoorDash.
That's what they do.
So how the hell could a celebrity like him
Right.
You don't have kids going on out there like that. They know about DoorDash, and this fool, he gonna walk out there in the middle of an area. Oh, come on.
Family, the night that he said that he got jumped, this the other part that made the shit bad, bro. It was like 10 degrees and the wind was blowing, so it felt like -9 degrees.
Right. I ain't going out there.
Nobody's outside. Dog, the only people outside are Uber drivers inside of their car.
Right. Call the Uber, man.
But this is my issue though. We cannot make this a racial issue. This is not a racial issue. We should not be bringing up the insurrection of January the 6th and comparing this to this at all. These are 2 very different topics. And we cannot conflate issues.
True, but would you agree, Brother Rob, that isn't it interesting that people who were involved in that January situation have yet to be some of them have been put on home arrest, and yet Jussie did something that he didn't harm anybody physically, but he wasted money and resources in Chicago and harmed himself and lied. But then again, you're right, brother. We're talking about Cook County and they don't play. And every jurisdiction that you're in is different.
Man,
Every
listen,
jurisdiction is different.
Man,
I'll tell you right now, if Jussie had been tried in California, he probably would have done no time because celebrities get off easy in California.
Yeah, not so much here. And let me say out loud, right? we got celebrity politician crooks here, bro.
Yes.
His name, I've been talking about him for years. His name is Michael Madigan. He was the puppet master, the crown maker, if you will. Right.
Okay.
For years here in Chicago, bro.
Right.
He had been extorting ComMed and waste management for years. For years. Think about how much he done worked against black people for years. I've been telling it, I've been saying the same people name for years. His daughter ended up becoming the attorney general for the state of Illinois. Her name was Lisa Madigan. When she knew that that they started investigating her dad, that's why she didn't run for re-election.
Right.
Because she didn't want to lead. She didn't want to lead the investigation into her dad. We have celebrity politician crooks here.
Well, let me ask you this question though.
Thought he was gonna get off easy.
Let me ask you this question before I go over to Brother Youssef and close out the show today. What about Kim Foxx? She took a lot of criticism. Some people felt that she dropped the ball with not putting Jussie behind bars when she had an opportunity, that they felt that she gave him a little special privilege.
Yes, they are cousins by blood, bro.
Oh, wait. That's breaking news here. Wait a minute. Say that again. Are you telling everybody right now that there is some blood relations between Kim Foxx and messy Jussie?
That's right. And so let's be clear, right?
I didn't know that.
Clear. We got a black mayor. We have a black district attorney.
I call her Beetlejuice.
We got a black chief of police, and somehow black folks can't come up.
All the corruption out there going on.
Can I say something?
Yes. Go right ahead. I'm gonna say what you want to say, and then I'm gonna go over to Brother Youssef, and then I'll close the program out. Brother Rob, once again, man, I really appreciate the gems that you're dropping. I had no idea, because this hasn't come out in the media. That's why I'm taking a double take, that there's a possibility that there's some relations between him and Kim Foxx. Never heard that one, brother. Man, that is, if that is actually 100% true, that explains everything. Go right ahead, Nordstrom.
Yeah, so what I wanted to say also was it was pretty, it was pretty chaotic throughout that whole process from what I noticed. And people in Chicago are not feeling him. And, not only was the judge doing a lot of grandstanding on the bench, but so was Rahm Emanuel for trying to ensure that they were able to get as much money out of him as possible. Of course, Lori Lightfoot decided to double down on that too. And I although he deserved everything else, the jail time was a little bit like, okay, so how come white folk who come to court or who committed a felony tend to get out, but black folk do not? And this is coming from someone, who there was one point where I did an internship under Kim Foxx's office. I would sit in bond court on a regular basis, and I see defendants come through bond court, central bond court, and face the judge to receive either a bond, either a D bond or an I bond, or no bond at all, depending on who it is, what the offense is, whether it's a violent offense or a non-violent offense, what their rating scale was from pretrial services. And for him, if it was not for the fact that it was that he's a celebrity, he probably could have gotten an I bond. He would not be held like this, but since it went through trial and he got sentenced, so of course he may not even have necessarily gotten the jail time if he was just a regular person. I don't even think we would have received as much media coverage for it. We would have received maybe 1 to 2 or 3 days worth of coverage of this, but this has been going on for over 2 years. And unnecessarily, because the night this happened, it does not make sense for him to want to go out in negative degree temperature weather. And I remember it because I was in the house too. I'm sitting here like, why would he want to go out there like that? It's just ridiculously cold. But in any event,
I guess he must have been that hungry. But then again, you know, you got money and resources. Keep your goddamn place stocked.
Yeah, young folk usually use Uber Eats or DoorDash or Grubhub. So I don't know why he didn't. Maybe he didn't want the kind of attention.
No,
or I don't know.
He did it because the whole thing, as you know, is orchestrated.
Yeah, I mean, it was orchestrated. Right. It's just that the jail time was a little harsh. Crook County knows how to really bring it to the black folk. They let the white folk go, and we'll just have to see what happens, because if it was not for a celebrity, we would not be hearing too much about this in the first place.
Facts.
We would not be. And not to mention all the white folk who commit something similar to this or a lot worse, they tend to be out for years, and then when they go to court, they may be found guilty, but guess what? They may not spend any jail time, but he has to spend jail time for a nonviolent offense.
Right, and we got white folks out here harassing black people when we barbecuing, walking, jogging, minding our own damn business, and they'll harass us. We'll catch it on video, evidence of them harassing us, and they do no time. Whereas Messy Jussie makes himself a human pinata.
Tell the truth.
I mean,
all right.
And I really hate this for him, but you know, he has to be held accountable. And the last thing I wanted to say really quickly was, okay, so about the family holding up, you know, just enabling him. Okay, I can see where that's coming from, and I somewhat agree with that. But let me play devil's advocate when it comes down to the family. What if they're just holding up a front in public, but then they're maybe holding him accountable in private?
Yeah, I had mentioned that on this video earlier today, that they could be putting up a front, and then behind closed doors, they could be chastising him and saying, look at the bullshit you've gotten the family in now. That's a possibility, because they have to put a public face on, because they know that, like I said earlier, they know that he's got to make a living. He's got to go forward with his life. So it doesn't look good for the family, in any family, to come out in public and say, yeah, our brother's guilty of all this stuff. No, they can't do that. That would be off code, as they call it.
Right.
But thank you for that.
I believe that that's what they're doing. They're probably holding up a front for the cameras and for the public media, but then in private, they're probably livid. And for the record, also, before Jussie got Empire, he was not the breadwinner for that family. You know who the breadwinner was?
Was it the older brother?
No, it was Journey, the sister, Journey Smollett, because she has been in television for years. What I remember her best for was playing Michelle Tanner's friend on Full House for like the last 4 or 5 seasons. Okay. So before Jussie was on TV, Journey was on TV.
Yeah. Now, let me give you some insight, and I think I'm correct about this. When you go and you look at his background, he did not grow up in the streets, or is he from the streets? If I'm not mistaken, the family is from California, in the Sonoma area of California. That's wine country. So Jussie and his family, they don't have a background, a urban type struggle background. So that's why I would say that the prison experience or the jail experience will be difficult for him to deal with, which is why he would have some stress, because his family, if I understand, the family is well connected. And there was rumors, I don't know how true this is, but there was rumors, and I don't want to make up stuff here, but there was a alleged, let me say that allegedly, there was an alleged rumor that Michelle Obama might have made a couple of phone calls in his behalf that might have made it possible for them to not put his butt in jail the first time around. I don't know how true that is, but that was one of the rumors that was thrown out there. That any of you that live in Chicago, that you ever hear that rumor, and was that rumor ever brought to be come out as truth?
I've never heard that rumor personally. I was watching the entire thing very, very closely.
Okay.
Because I like him. And nothing ever came out about Michelle Obama doing anything for him, because I think around that time, Michelle Obama was really, really low key.
Low key.
Especially after, coming out of the White House, and him,
right.
Her and Barack trying to live their best life after all them years in the White House. So
yeah, that's why I wanted this. That's why I said alleged. That was one of the rumors. But then again, rumors are created and people go with it. But that's from the reason why I got that information is because I found out that that Jussie and his family are well connected.
Man,
well
check
connected.
it out, info. Again, brother, think about it. Think
Yes,
about
sir.
how long it took for them to charge him with anything.
That's right.
You
That's
know
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying.
And that was because of his influence with Kim Foxx.
With Kim Foxx.
And this happens to be a election year, and this is about to tarnish her. And that's gonna be very difficult for her to become reelected under these terms.
No, they're gonna get rid of her.
All because he was lying. Her whole thing is about to come tumbling down because of this shit.
Right. It's going to come all falling down. So let me do this as I get close to conclusion. Let me go over, and I appreciate both of you. You made great statements up here today. Great statements, powerful statements. Let me go over to Brother Yusef because he's been waiting to speak here before we close out and hear his perspective about this whole messy Jussie situation. Brother Yusef, welcome. Thank you for being here, brother. What are your thoughts about messy Jussie?
Well, as always, hello to you and to the panel, everybody in the building. I always love your show and coming over
Thank
here,
you.
being able to come up. The interactive part of it is one of my favorite parts.
Thank
so
you.
I came in the middle, and then I was hearing the points that y'all were making. And Bro Rob was making a lot of great points.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I hit the panel, that's where it started going left. I didn't say a word. I just kept listening. But
Okay. Okay.
I didn't agree with the one thing where you said about it's not about race and don't conflate it. Because that's the thing. That's the power of overstanding and understanding things more than just understanding them. You know what I mean? And because you have to be able to tie all of those parallels to see what's going on. They'll say things like, oh, he wasted the court's time and resources. And it's like, oh, you got time and resources when things like
I
this
hear you. I hear you.
Just like the sister said, every point, it is true, because in those situations when it's really going down, nobody cares about all that and all the people. And when you brought up the J6, Honorable Angela, that was the money shot right there.
Angela, yeah.
That was the money shot right there, because that was a perfect example of where in the match they show you. And so again, when there's situations where black men and women and wind up dead and they on trees and people saying it's suicide, things that's, the Ahmaud Arbery's and this and that and all those things. And yeah, these people recently is getting a couple convictions, but there are more than they can keep up with. And most of them get off on this and they act as if they have no consciousness of this. They don't understand what is going on. It's not a real thing. We don't have resources for that, but then they're giving anti-Asian bills and dropping money on them. And then, we're sitting here, never got our reparations, which is actually irrepayable because it's social and spiritual and economic and all those different types of other ways too, not just physical. And so to me, it's just an insult and a slap in the face and another way to where they're picking fun and poking at you, nana boo boo, pull yourself up by the bootstrap with 10 feet on your neck. But then when we trying to lift each other up, see, most people held Jussie accountable. But Jussie lied. When you lie to somebody, what I'm gonna lie, right? I feel like, in my opinion, too many of us rolled too hard on his back and helped him get in more trouble. Show him that we was willing to sacrifice one, because they was gonna do what they was gonna do regardless. But Jussie, if I'm gonna lie to you, right, I need to say something that I know that you're gonna believe. If I'm not, I can't lie. You got to be something believable. So the reality is, niggas is getting chased down with gas cans and nooses and ain't doing nothing about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this reality and lie about it. And it was wrong. Ain't nobody say he was right for that. He's wrong, but he don't deserve to be completely canceled. He don't deserve to be treated as if he was some real victim, because that's essentially what happened. 150 days. Well, that's what they get when they usually do catch you. That's what they get when they was out there chasing you. For real. So in so many ways, the parallels tie in, and ain't no way to sit there. Why be slow and not conflate it? Ain't illegal to generalize, especially with all the other things. Don't get me started on the black on black crime.
Yeah, this is why we shouldn't conflate it. He had put up the story of Laquan McDonald, and our brother lost his life. It was painful to even see the photos. The energy from the revolt that happened after Laquan was shot down, and we found out a year later that they had the video. That energy was tied into this story.
Yeah, but
that's what makes it reprehensible.
He's the one who's wrong for complaining and for being the liar.
Right. And so I'm saying we shouldn't continue the conflation. We shouldn't continue the energy that he was trying to bring with his hoax.
Yeah, but everybody's oh my God, Jussie lied to the courts. Jussie, they're all bent out of shape that he lied to the courts.
No, it's idiotic. It's idiotic. It's idiotic to where the report on the ground says that it's no crime. Then then you get special treatment because your cousin, the DA, then they do an investigation. That all of that comes into court, and then you lie in open court. All of that is idiotic.
Okay, that's a slap on the wrist. It's not all of this, though. It's not all of us, everybody coming down on him, trying to socially ostracise him as his own people. And it's not because we can't expect for that system to
I am in no way trying to
I'm saying in general, see, and so
you're saying in general.
That's another.
Well, let me.
Even in general, it is not wise,
right,
to go into court when you have overwhelming evidence. This is just the point I'm trying to make. When it's overwhelming evidence. One second, sir. When it's overwhelming evidence that the state has against you, it is not wise to continue to lie, whatever that is, it's not wise. That's in general, not just to this case. That's in general.
Yeah.
I would say that because he continues to maintain the lie and his family is reinforcing it in public, it is still kind of misleading those of us in the public that he still. Because we all have seen the evidence that's been put forth. We've all seen the videos. So I'm not saying that we should treat him as if he took somebody's life. No. But what bothers me about it is that he continues, despite all the evidence that's been proven, to still lie to us. And that to me is a problem, that he continues to keep lying to us, but yet he wants to put up the power fist near the end. And I understand why he did that, because his family was there and he's saying, if something happens to me in that jail, I want you to know that I'm not suicidal. So if something happens to me, they did something to me. I thought that was actually a smart move that he did, given the history of what happens to black people when we're incarcerated. But outside of that, the problem with Jussie Smollett is that he has lied and continued to lie, and he wants me and you and all of us in general to believe the lie. And I don't think that he's in the same breath as a Laquan McDonald. I brought up Laquan McDonald tonight because I wanted to show how he's in a environment where there's a lot of corrupt stuff going on in their system. And we saw how Jason Van Dyke was lying and falsifying stuff, and the police department itself was lying on his documents for him. That Jussie has put himself, as Brother Rob has said, because he's from Chicago, he has put himself in a place that he lied. That's a very dangerous place to be. That's Chicago, and their prison system is very dangerous, or their jail system is a very dangerous place where they actually do chump up stuff on men. And I also said tonight too, Yusef, and you can appreciate this, that I read an article about how often black men are often found guilty in their court system. And I do believe he is a victim of their court system, because anywhere else he would have gotten probation and fines, and that's it. If he had been tried anywhere else other than Chicago, with that type of police department that they have in that system, he probably would have not gotten any time. I believe he got the time that he got because Chicago and Cook County and their correction system has a disproportionate habit of divvying out time to black people versus white people. So Jussie Smollett, even though he got only 150 days, he still became a victim of their system that divvies out that type of justice towards black men. And even when it came to his crime that did not harm anybody, I'm going to stand on that is a byproduct of the corrupt system of their system, because all black men who have done all different that they accuse of doing crime are getting chumped up charges, whether it's small crimes or big crimes. That's my premise today.
More like
brother,
County.
Right, like Cook County, I'm sorry. But brother, you said, let me give you let you rebut anything you want to say, because I got to close this out pretty soon.
Well, thank you. It's not to go back and forth. It's just to have in a gray area for people to think about, because, you and I could say stuff and not agree on not one thing, but someone could get something out of just that exchange. So or whatever. And so, like I said, I agreed with mostly everything that he was saying, but like the whole thing, and I get that too. But again, that still, to me, in my opinion, was twisted around with other things that were not mutually exclusive of one another, and actually conflating things just to prove a point that was valid about lying.
Okay.
But, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says, "I believe Jussie."
Okay. Everybody has everybody has the right at the end of the day to be rocking with Jussie if you believe what he's saying or you don't. I personally,
I don't believe him, but I won't say that in public.
Right. I personally, because I followed the case as well, like many other people from afar, of course. I personally think that he, I think he just miscalculated. He did this in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it backfired on him.
My last thing, I swear, I want them to use every resource that they use in this Jussie hoax for the next black victim and for the black victims who's never still stories to be spoken and justice to be given. And so that's where I'm keeping that smoke. So if I got to go with the flow and believe a Jussie lie, or if I got to go ahead and look, too bad Jussie don't open the way. Hopefully they start putting more resources into it now, because we saw how hard y'all went for Jussie case and it was a lie. So when we can really prove that this is happening again, don't get mad if we got to take justice into our own hands.
Very good point. So the next time this happens with somebody else of a different persuasion, they better have the same energy that they had with that person that they had with Jussie. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. But I'm unfortunately, my brother, because we live in America and we know what America's all about, we know damn well that that's not going to happen.
But what is America all about?
That much when it comes to us.
That Jussie lied on. The people that Jussie just lied on is what America's all about. So
America is about lying and misleading people. It has been that way. Yes,
lynching black people and all that. So when you say what America's about, and we know what America is, we say that so vaguely as if it's not just cut and dry a racist ass nation.
No, yes. I've done plenty of videos talking about that. It is a racist country. And Jussie, let me just say this. I'm going to stand on it again. I just think it just was a bad look and move for Jussie to do this. I just think it was a bad move. The man was making $2 million a year. Maybe he was unhappy with his contract. Maybe he has something going in his life. I don't know. I just think he didn't need to do this. I just think he didn't need to do it. And everybody, I want to thank y'all for coming up on the panel. Brother Rob, Angela, thank you for coming on the panel. Brother Youssef, I thank you all. Come on back for some more discussions. I'll have other discussions like this, other topics coming up. Rob, I still plan to do that I'm probably going to have to take some time to put it all together, but I do still plan to do the video where I want to bring a merit of brothers based on what are black men doing today, not yesterday or last year, or yesteryears, but what are black men doing productive today? And you're one of those productive black men. So I'm going to put that together, but I got to make sure I take my time putting that show together so that I can get all the good people that I want on to come up and speak on these issues. So be on the lookout for me to be in contact with you to get you on board with that, brother. You okay with that?
Man, info, I'm on board, man. All you got to do is let me know and I'll be here.
I'll email. I got your email. I'll be in contact with you.
For sure.
Let me get on out of here. I got some things I got to do, folks. I thank everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat room. Thank you for coming up here on the stage, and thank you for supporting the stream yesterday with the House of X of Consciousness. I appreciate that. Everybody who came over to watch that stream, thank you. Everybody in the chat room, thank you. If I didn't call out everybody's name, no disrespect to anybody. Peace to you. We got Jackie out there, Lolo, Queen B. Let me see. Make sure you subscribe to the the Info Media channel. If you are a content creator or you are deciding to create a YouTube channel, I'll be giving you the tips and the strategies and all the things that you need on that channel. That channel is about YouTube tips, live streaming, gear reviews, the whole 9 yard. I'll give it to you from a real down to earth perspective. I'll be launching my first video on that channel tomorrow morning, and I'll just be doing uploads for a little while. And then eventually I'll go live on that channel where I'll have people come up on the panel, and I'll give you a one-to-one where we can assess your channel, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. If you have a desire to be a content creator, and even if you're just curious and you want to watch it, just to be curious about what we'll be talking about, subscribe to the channel. That's Info Media. That's my new channel. I'll be dedicating a lot of time on that channel and putting that channel together. I'm going to grind that channel out the old-fashioned way to build the audience over there. It'll be a different audience in some ways because I'm not talking about politics and culture and racism and all different things. So the crowd over there will be more of a mixed crowd because people who want to do YouTube is people of all races, ethnic groups, ages, and all over the world. So everybody, please come on over. That will be searchable content that I'll be creating over there, and join Info Media. INFOR and then media. Come on and subscribe to that channel. I think the mods had dropped it a couple of times in the chat room. I appreciate everybody for being here. Let me give you a clap. And with that said, I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you, everybody out there watching in Twitch, and everybody watching in Roku, everyone watching on the Facebook pages and out there in all the social media land. Twitter, the whole 9 yard. Thank you again. I'm going to give you a clap. And I'm going to get on out of here. And I thank you. This was a pretty damn good show. But I got to say, Messy Jussie again. As I like that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, let me set all my music up, and we're going to get ready to. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll be back on live with another program for you next Sunday. Once again, be on the lookout for me to drop content on the other channel, the Info Media channel, a strategies and tip channel for YouTubing and social media overall. Those videos will be dropping 1 to 2 times a week. And then the Information Man Speaks podcast, I will be either uploading or going live over there very soon to get myself back on track with that channel. So I have a lot to do, a lot to stay on top of when it comes to this social media platforms and what have you. Everybody out there, a clap to you again. Thank you again. Everybody in the chat room, everybody that came over today, I really appreciate you a lot. You support it. And do me the biggest favor, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell of notification, and share this information or this video in all of your social media, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Twitch, whatever you got out there. Share it in your community tabs if you are a content creator. Share it in different video type of groups where people share videos and watch videos. Share, and share alike. I thank you again for being here. As you can see me putting up here right now, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and be a part of what we've got going on over here. Once again, I want to say thank you again to everybody, the family at BS3 Network. BS3 Network is a network on Roku TV. It's also on Facebook. And every Sunday when I broadcast, I'm live on Roku TV right now. If you have that package at home, all you have to do is look for BS3 Network, and you will find me under Information Man Show on your Roku package within Roku TV through BS3 TV. Let me say shout out to Brother Ben out there right now. Clap to him. And must tell the truth as always. And so let me get on out of here and take care, everybody. Peace.
Tell the truth.
Thank you, everybody.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel.
Take care. Take care, everybody.
starting to believe you can. Cause baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I could finally see, bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want these problems, I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it, working out my issues with you.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Thank you all for your support today. Take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you on the YouTube streets. I'll be back with another presentation the following week. We never know what's going to happen next, but I will come strong with other programs. I do have a few guests that I'll be bringing to the platform for interviews. I think I'm going to be interviewing someone about cleansing the body, black health and nutrition. I have someone that's a specialist in that. So I have exciting guests and content coming more and more on this channel. Everyone take care.
Tell the truth.